Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about something that's, well, it's on pretty much everyone's mind: retirement. We all have this picture in our heads of what it's supposed to look like. But as we're about to see the playbook for how to get there, it's been completely torn up. You know, when you close your eyes and picture retirement, this is probably what comes to mind, right? Just relaxing, traveling, maybe walking on a beautiful beach without a single worry in the world. It's that classic dream, you know? The ultimate reward for a lifetime of hard work.
But here's the thing, is that picture-perfect dream still what we're actually planning for? Because the ground is kind of shifting under our feet. And that old plan, the one that worked so well for our parents, it just might not cut it for us anymore.
So let's start by talking about the retirement we expected to have. You know, the classic model, the one many of us grew up seeing. This was the blueprint for, well, for generations. Yeah, this old way of doing things was really built on stability. The idea was simple. You'd work for the same company for, say, 30 or 40 years. You'd retire at 65, and boom, you get a pension check for the rest of your life, guaranteed. Social Security was there to, fill in the gaps. Your own investments, they were kind of just for the fun stuff, the extras. It was a straight line, a really predictable path.
Okay, so that was then. Now, let's flip the coin and look at the retirement most of us are actually facing today. And believe me, the picture looks a whole lot different.
And this chart really lays it all out, doesn't it? That whole one company for life thing, gone. Now it's an average of 7 different companies. And the pension, that guaranteed income stream, it's been replaced by the 401k. And that's a huge shift, because it moves all the responsibility for funding your retirement from the company straight over to you. On top of that, what you can expect from Social Security is, well, a lot less certain.
So, what's the bottom line here? It's that the straight, predictable road to retirement that our parents had, it just doesn't exist anymore. We're all navigating a much trickier, more complex path now. And that means we absolutely have to be aware of the new challenges coming our way.
And one of the biggest of those challenges, and this is one that almost nobody is talking about, is a major threat that could be hiding right inside your retirement savings. So let me just throw a question out there, and I know it's going to sound a little crazy at first. What if tax rates doubled in the future, like during your retirement? I know, it sounds totally extreme, but stick with me. Let's look at the numbers that are making this a very real possibility. Okay, so it all starts with the federal budget. See, there are 4 huge expenses that are basically on autopilot. They just keep growing every single year, no matter what. And they are Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and the interest we have to pay on the national debt. Now get this. In recent years, projections have shown that those 4 things alone are on track to eat up 92 cents of every single tax dollar the government collects. Just let that sink in for a second. 92 cents. Which means there's only 8 cents left over. Just 8 pennies out of every dollar to pay for, well, everything else. And what exactly is everything else? Well, that would be things like the FBI, NASA, all of our national parks, border security, the entire federal court system, the FAA keeping our planes safe, FEMA for disaster relief, and the entire U.S. military. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. So how on earth do you fund all of that with just 8 cents on the dollar? You can't. The math just doesn't add up long term.
Now, this chart is fascinating because it puts things in perspective. I mean, we all feel like our tax rates are high right now, right? But look at this. Back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, the top tax rates were over 90%. And they stayed up around 70% all the way into the late 70s. So this idea of taxes going way, way up, it's not just some crazy theory. It has literally happened before. It's historical fact.
And look, this isn't just some random person's opinion. This quote comes from the former head of the GAO, the Government Accountability Office. This is a top nonpartisan expert, and they're saying it flat out. Unless we begin to get our fiscal house in order, there's simply no other way to handle our ever-mounting debt burdens except by doubling taxes over time. Wow. Okay, so that's the giant national-level problem. But let's bring it back down to earth. How does this potential storm on the horizon actually affect your retirement plan? Well, this is where that big picture problem turns into a really surprising and personal tax trap.
You know, we've all been told the same thing, right? Don't worry, you'll be in a lower tax bracket in retirement because you'll be earning less money. I mean, it makes perfect sense, it seems logical, but what if that idea is not just wrong, but dangerously wrong?
And here's why that might be. Just think for a second about all the big tax deductions you probably have right now during your working years. You've got your mortgage interest deduction, any charitable giving you do. You have those child tax credits. And this is a huge one. Every single dollar you contribute to your 401k or 403b is a deduction that lowers your taxable income. But what happens when you retire? Poof. Most, if not all, of those deductions, they just disappear. And this right here, this is the real gut punch. Once you lose all those deductions, it is absolutely possible to have a lower income but end up with a higher amount of taxable income, which means you could actually find yourself pushed into a higher tax bracket in retirement at the exact moment in your life when you can least afford to pay more in taxes. So, all of this brings us back to one final, really critical question for you to think about. We know the retirement landscape has completely changed. We know the risk of much higher taxes in the future is very real. The only question left is the retirement plan you have right now truly ready for a whole new tax reality?